Hello, and welcome to this introduction to the QED Award.
So, what does QED mean, you may be asking?
Well, QED stands for Quality, Inequality and Diversity, and it's an award that only housing associations in Wales can achieve.
TYPAB developed the QED award in 2017, and there is nothing else like it in Wales.
So far, only a few housing associations have achieved QED Award, and if your landlord is taking part in QED, it means that they are really taking equality and diversity seriously and want to make sure that their services meet everyone's needs.
Why is equality and diversity important?
Well, that's a really good question. Sometimes people think that we don't need to worry about equality because we have laws and rules about it. But sadly, there are still groups of people who don't get treated fairly and their voices aren't heard. Think about those who lived at Grenfell Tower and those people who have been hit hardest by the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's describe the QED process step by step.
Firstly, we get to know the housing association. We gather all the information we need. We look for policies and practices that relate to equality and diversity. We listen to tenants, staff, and wider stakeholders to understand their perspective.
We feed this information back to the housing association. And using our expertise, we set recommendations to fill any gaps we've identified in the housing association's approach to equality and diversity.
For 6 months, we support the housing association to make the changes we have recommended.
After 6 months, we reflect on the journey and write a QED report. In the report, we assess the standard of policies and practices at the housing association and the commitment to improving.
Our report is then reviewed by an independent panel. The independent panel decides if the housing association has achieved the award.
One housing association taking on QED was providing tenants with information using unnecessarily complex language. Thanks to QED, this housing association now has a plain English action plan. It reviews all information for tenants to ensure it's accessible to all and not unnecessarily complicated.
In taking on QED, one housing association was required to train its tenant service standards group in equality and diversity. This helped the tenants to hold the organisation to account on equality and diversity issues.
At another housing association taking on QED, improvements to the reception area have been made to improve accessibility, including new signage, new seating, and hearing loop guidance.
You may be wondering how you can get involved in QED. Well, the best way is to take part in one of the tenant focus groups that we always hold as part of the QED process. Let your landlord know that you would like to take part, and also look out for any invitations to be part of a QED focus group.
This is a one-off meeting, which TYPAB facilitates and is very informal. We want to hear what you have to say about your landlord's services. What are they good at, and where might they need to do better? Are they easy to get hold of? Are their letters easy to understand? Do they take into consideration any special requirements you have, maybe because of a disability?
What you have to say becomes part of our overall feedback to your landlord, but we never quote individuals or names.
When TYPAB works with your landlord on QED, we
find out what your landlord is doing well and what needs to change or improve.
We then work with your landlord to make a clear plan about what needs to be done.
After about 6 months, we come back and see if these changes have led to improvements for tenants.
By doing QED, landlords will have a better understanding of their tenants' needs and will have made the right changes to their services for tenants. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thanks for watching this video. We are looking forward to hearing from you during the process of QED.